It was the moment no one expected to see this early, and yet it instantly became the image that sent shockwaves across social media. Sasha Obama, the once shy youngest daughter of America's most recognizable political family, has now found herself at the center of emotional headlines after being spotted proudly showing off what appeared to be her second trimester baby bump. The sighting wasn't staged, it wasn't polished, and it wasn't part of any carefully choreographed reveal. It happened naturally, softly, and almost accidentally. Yet it was powerful enough to ignite a storm of reactions, questions, and speculation that spread across the internet within hours. The announcement wasn't really an announcement at all. There was no official statement, no press release, no spokesperson stepping forward with confirmation or denial. Instead, the news traveled the way modern stories do, through a blurry photo, a curious caption, and millions of eyes waiting for more. In the image, Sasha appeared calm, glowing, and unbothered, dressed casually as she walked through what seemed to be a quiet outdoor market. The gentle curve of her stomach was unmistakable. It wasn't a hint, it wasn't a shadow, and it wasn't one of those ambiguous angles that gossip sites debate endlessly. This looked real, and that was all it took for the internet to erupt. At first, fans and followers reacted with pure shock, not because Sasha was doing anything wrong, but because the world had watched her grow up in the public eye. First as a child in the White House, then as a college student, and now as a young woman building her own life, far from political cameras. Many people were initially hesitant, unsure whether to say anything, afraid of invading her privacy. But the comments still came, some congratulatory, some confused, some defensive, and others emotional, reflecting on how quickly time has passed. The internet loves drama, but it also loves nostalgia, and the revelation that little Sasha might now be entering motherhood was one of those moments that blended both. But behind the reactions, behind the blurry photo, and behind the speculation lies a deeper story, one that stretches far beyond the moment she was spotted. Sasha Obama's journey has always been complex. She grew up in the most heavily watched household in America, yet her parents worked tirelessly to protect her from the emotional strain of public life. Michelle Obama once spoke about making sure her daughters had as normal a childhood as possible, even in the middle of historic change. But normalcy is hard to maintain when the entire world knows your name before you even learn how to spell it. Sasha's teenage years were filled with transition. From the strict routines of White House living to the sudden freedom of college life, it was a sharp shift that forced her to develop quickly, privately, and quietly. While other teens experimented, dated, and made mistakes in private, Sasha did all of it with the fear of paparazzi lurking just beyond the corner. She learned early how to move silently, how to stay under the radar, and how to choose her inner circle with precision. But even with those precautions, she could never fully escape public curiosity. Her struggles weren't always visible, but they existed in every expectation placed upon her. Eke, people wanted her to remain the innocent child they remembered. They wanted her to avoid controversy, avoid attention, avoid anything that might reflect negatively on the family. But growing up under those conditions can be suffocating, especially for a young woman trying to figure out her identity and her place in the world. And that's where the emotional twist of this story begins. Because according to whispers circulating through social media communities and insider circles in this fictional narrative, Sasha may have been quietly preparing for this moment for months. The rumor mill suggests that she had confided in a small group of friends, possibly even traveling out of the country during her first trimester to avoid attention. Some insiders claim she had been attending discreet medical appointments and leaning heavily on her support system. Others say she's been living away from the spotlight by design, choosing locations that cater to privacy rather than luxury. What truly fueled the internet's emotional response was not just the sighting itself, but the possibility that Sasha Obama, the girl the world once watched grow up, was now experiencing one of the most personal and transformative chapters of womanhood without seeking validation or permission from anyone. There was something rebellious and raw about that idea, something that resonated deeply with people who have followed the Obama family for years. Of course, with any moment as intimate as pregnancy, questions began swirling almost instantly. Who is the father? Is she in a relationship? Is the family aware? Is she planning a private life away from politics forever? None of these answers were available, nor were they owed to anyone. But that didn't stop the internet from speculating. Some fans pieced together old photos and hints from months prior, suggesting she may have been quietly dating someone outside the political world, a regular person, someone far from the spotlight, someone who made her feel safe. Others pointed to earlier sightings of her with a rumored partner, noting how protective and careful they appeared around her. The whispers claimed he was supportive, grounded, and determined to stay out of her limelight, qualities that instantly fueled more curiosity. In a world where children of presidents often struggle with relationships due to pressure and expectations, the idea of Sasha finding someone who respects her privacy felt almost like a fairy tale. But as with any big development connected to a political family, rumors didn't stop at romance. Some online communities speculated about how the Obama family might be processing this moment. Michelle Obama has long been viewed as the epitome of calm, strength, and maternal wisdom. So many imagined she would respond with grace rather than judgment. Barack Obama, ever the proud father who has spoken often about his love for both daughters, was imagined by fans as emotional, protective, and overwhelmingly supportive. But not all reactions were imagined in soft tones. There were also fictional insider claims, circulating online, suggesting possible disagreements within the family. Some whispers hinted that the timing was unexpected, that the family had not been fully prepared, that the transition from private daughter to young mother would require enormous adjustment, both emotionally and practically. Whether any of these fictionalized rumors held weight didn't matter. People online consumed them eagerly, turning them into conversation threads, comment debates, and viral TikToks. Still, the strongest reactions came from the general public, the fans who had watched Sasha's life unfold from the outside. Many expressed heartfelt joy, praising her glow and congratulating her on stepping into her own adulthood. Others were more hesitant, emphasizing the importance of privacy, boundaries, and respect. Some argued that Sasha deserved the same protection every young mother should have, regardless of her family name. Yet, mixed in with all the love and caution were those darker voices, the ones who speculated too aggressively, the ones who questioned her choices, the ones who acted as though her body, her decisions, and her future were theirs to debate. It was a reminder that no matter how grown she becomes, Sasha Obama will always battle the weight of public opinion, a reality she never asked for, but must navigate with care. But perhaps the most moving response came from people who recognized the symbolic power of the moment. Many reflected on how far the Obama family had come, from the historic 2008 campaign, to the 8 years of service, to the daughters becoming adults in a nation that once viewed them as children who belonged to everyone. Now, the sight of Sasha stepping confidently into motherhood, fictional or not, felt like a soft reminder that time moves quickly, life evolves, and children grow into people with stories of their own. In this fictional narrative, sources closest to Sasha hint that she may not be rushing to release a statement. Those who know her say she prefers silence over spectacle. They say she values emotional safety over public approval. They say she has always been grounded, introspective, and fiercely protective of her private life, especially when it comes to love, family, and personal transformation. According to fictional insiders, Sasha has been leaning heavily on her sister Malia, who has always served as her emotional anchor. The bond between the Obama sisters has been one of the most admired sibling relationships in modern public life. They've navigated the pressure of politics, fame, and judgment together. And now, the idea that Sasha might be confiding in Malia during this new chapter adds another emotional layer to the story. Michelle Obama, known for her compassion and strength, is imagined as offering gentle guidance, helping her daughter adjust to the emotional roller coaster of impending motherhood. Barack Obama, often seen as calm and reflective, is envisioned as providing comfort, reassurance, and unconditional love. The fictional picture painted across social media is that of a family grounded in unity, ready to embrace a new addition, regardless of the circumstances. And that's what makes the ending of the story so compelling. The fact that no one truly knows what comes next. Will Sasha eventually reveal more details? Will she continue living quietly, away from cameras? Will the public ever meet the baby? Will she address the rumors? Or will she simply continue building her life in private, letting the world guess? That uncertainty is exactly what keeps the internet talking. It's what keeps fans invested. It's what turns a single blurry photo into a viral subject of curiosity, emotion, and speculation. And it's what transforms an ordinary moment, like a walk through a market, into a headline that ripples across digital culture. This fictional storyline captures a powerful truth about how deeply people remain connected to the Obama legacy. Even years after leaving the White House, even as the daughters grow into their own lives, the world is still watching, still caring, still wondering. Sasha Obama's fictional pregnancy reveal is a reminder that public fascination doesn't fade easily. It evolves, grows, and adapts to each new chapter. In the end, the story isn't really about politics or gossip or speculation. It's about a young woman embracing a transformative moment in her life. It's about growth, independence, and emotional evolution. It's about stepping into adulthood on her own terms, whether the world understands it or not. And so, as the internet waits for clarity, confirmation, or even silence, one thing remains certain. This moment has sparked a conversation that will continue unfolding. One comment, one rumor, and one emotional reaction at a time.